Okay, you have set a new bar for backgrounds. That is phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah, I'm easily bored, so I keep messing around.
That's great. I think I really want an office like that. Oh, that's wonderful. And all the books are straight. Logs and everything. Do you have real life logs in your house?
Real what?
Do you have real life logs, as in a real fireplace in your house?
We do have a fireplace, but the books are not really next to it. Our 5,700 books are in the library downstairs.
Oh my. I can't remember who it was, but my husband saw a camera shot of a professor of English or something who had retired recently. And I don't think I've ever seen so many books in one room. It was, it was amazing.
So how about
Oh,
that one?
that's even better. You got a cat now. I like that.
So how is everybody?
Doing okay?
I've been in AFib since the middle of January.
Oh no.
Why you want to do that?
And they finally got me in the hospital Monday, shocked my heart. And 48 hours later, I was back in AFib.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see the doctor next week. I don't know what the next step is.
Do you have your regular heartbeat already, or?
Well, I've had heart surgery, and I went in AFib about 4 years ago, and they fixed it, and I hadn't had any problems since. And it's been a nightmare because I don't have any energy. I don't have any strength. I'm just kind of here.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Maybe this will take your mind off of it for a while.
Yep.
How are you doing, Steve?
Oh, doing fine. Just surviving the ice and keeping sheltered in place. No COVID in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we've had COVID in our neighborhood, so
Oh, yeah?
yeah. I've been very, very careful. I don't go to the lodge at all. I've been going crazy because I'm a swimmer, so I haven't swum in a year.
Do you
But
live at Lake of the Woods?
no, Celebrate Del Webb.
Oh, okay.
But I have been reading, and virologists say don't swim because you gulp air. So it's one of the most dangerous physical activities. And we had a swimmer that notice went out. They had a swimmer who was in the locker room who tested positive. So, you know, everybody who swam, I don't know how it came out, but they were all notified.
Well, what you do is you get two kitchen chairs and you lie face down on them so your legs are hanging over. And you,
Yes, I love it.
Well, you know, I had to go get a COVID test before they let me in the hospital to have my
Yeah.
procedure.
That's standard now.
Yep. And with all the snow, it kept getting postponed.
Yeah.
But the good news is I've been on hydroxychloroquine for over 20 years. So.
Really? Wow.
well, the latest evidence is it doesn't do anything. It's basically a placebo.
Well, it depends upon what you read, because I've heard the exact opposite, but let's don't discuss it.
Well, I'm going by the medical journals. So
She hasn't had one touch of malaria in 20 years.
yeah, and I eat a lot of garlic, and it keeps the elephants away. Haven't had an elephant around in my whole life.
I have the same thing with it keeps men away. I haven't had a man around in a long time.
Garlic will do that.
It's got to find an Italian. All right. Well, I'm not sure. We had a few other people said they might join. I've been trying to get the folks from the Northwest region to participate, but
Well, they may have had some power issues.
yeah, and I was also told that by somebody out that way that the members out there have not really been involved. So,
Well, we'll have to change that. They need to.
yeah, it'll probably get easier when we get back to face.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
try to set up something in maybe Harrisonburg in association with the university there to do some kind of thing out that way.
That would be fun. Yeah, good idea.
Well, I suggested sharing a seasonal poem. I don't know if anybody wants to do that. It's your meeting, so if you want to do something else, you just tell me. But
I happen to have one I was working on. It's not finished, but I'll share it when the time comes.
And I have something that I'd love feedback on as well.
yeah, if you want to workshop it, just let us know. Otherwise, we'll say thank you. So go ahead, Madeline.
Oh, okay. Like I said, it's a work in progress. It's only been edited once. It's called January Morning. Crystals, six-pointed webs, spread across glass panes and stretch to the edge. Prisms of nature split the faint winter light of a January morning. Beyond, a white landscape reflects the winter day, brightens the cold air into the midnight hour. A tiny mammal moves from his warm abode to search for one morsel of food. Satiated, he scampers away to wait out the night while air is turned to ice. That's it.
Okay.
It's a work in progress. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
I love your references to the web imagery at the beginning. That was particularly.
I have to tell you, I got that idea because all my friends in West Virginia have been posting all the ice covered pictures because they're in a mess. And somebody posted a icy snow covered spider web that looked like crochet.
Oh, how cool.
Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous.
Did you save it? You can use that.
No, but you know, I might have to go back and find that and save that. Yes, I probably should have. I've just been inundated with photographs of down trees and it's a mess.
Well, I thought it was very strong, particularly at the beginning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It made me think of you. In fact, I may go back and try to tweak it into one of the styles that you've taught us.
Ooh.
That's crossed my mind.
Yeah, would you read it again?
Me?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. January morning. Crystals, six-pointed webs spread across glass panes and stretch to the edge. Prisms of nature split the faint winter light of a January morning. Beyond, a white landscape reflects the winter day, brightens the cold air into the midnight hour. A tiny mammal moves from his warm abode to search for one morsel of food. Satiated, he scampers away to wait out the night while air is turned to ice.
The rhythm of that last line is nice too. I like that.
We'll have to get together and critique it because you all are better poets than I am.
I don't know about that.
I doubt that.
Turn to ice. Is it maybe a better verb there?
Which one?
Turned. I don't know. I'm just asking.
I'm trying to find it.
It's your last line.
Oh, yes, the last line. Yeah, I agree. There might be a better word there. I'm going to circle that so I can investigate that. It's kind of a blasé word. It's what I call a nickel word instead of a 50-cent word.
Well, nickel words are fine as long as they're the right words.
Yes.
And your poem is so strong in imagery, and that's kind of a key action word.
It
So
could just be while air becomes ice or morphs. I don't know.
now morphs is too morphy. Becomes is better.
Yeah, I like the
That
color.
becomes is better. Yeah.
What was that?
Becomes also has the sense of changing states, which is,
Mhm.
Well, that's what I was trying to get, from a gas to a solid without going through there is a science word for that, which escapes me right now, but, oh no, that's where you go from solid to gas. Anyways, there's probably a technical term for that.
solid to gas is sublimation.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the opposite of that.
Crystallization.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But
Well,
become,
if you, in really cold climates, when people breathe out, their air just kind of becomes ice when they exhale.
oh yeah, I've
That's
been
what,
there.
yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
Well, becomes would do it, that word,
Yeah,
becomes.
okay.
Yeah, I've had 14 below, not wind chill, was the coldest I've experienced. And
Yeah.
that's where you could take a glass of water and throw it, and it's
Right.
frozen by the time it hits the ground.
Before it hits the ground.
I've been in 150 below.
Wow.
Ooh,
With
is that
Minnesota,
Antarctica?
Alaskan
Idaho.
Air Command on top of an Arctic mountain where there was a radar dome. Midwinter, howling wind above just about at the Arctic Circle.
Army,
Air Force,
Air Force.
Murphy Dome
Okay,
Air Force
Steve.
Station.
Ooh,
Sounds like that would be a great poem. We'll hear that next time.
I think I was too frozen solid to know about it.
Whoever stationed you there obviously didn't like you.
Get to the end of the world.
or maybe he liked him so much he wanted to preserve him in ice.
I stayed 10 years in Alaska.
Wow.
It was a cold but interesting time.
Thank you, Madeline. Beth, you said you had one.
Yeah.
You want
gotta
to
get
feedback,
thinking.
workshop it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to put it, since these are little tanka, which are hard to follow orally, I'm trying to put them in the chat and see if this works. Did they show up?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. So we got two little tanka. And Madeline, I was thinking of you. We must have been thinking about each other. I was thinking about West Virginia.
Oh,
Obviously, I was not there when I wrote this. I was remembering being in West Virginia for vacation. But the first one is spring thaw. And for this one, particularly, if you could look for anything that doesn't fit with the cohesive whole rather. And if there's a particularly strong line that I shouldn't touch, and if there's a weak line that I should attack, I'd love that. So if you could watch for that. Spring thaw. Rapid stiff with cold rise from alabaster arms. The heartbeat of stone quickens when this river cracks an icy winter window.
Good. Excellent.
it is Harper's Ferry. Okay. Been there. The only thing I would change is, I don't know why you say this river instead of the river or a river, or I'm
Well,
sure you have a reason.
I do have a reason. This may be a time to break the rules. And tanka, you're not supposed to repeat the same definite article in the top 3 lines or the bottom 3 lines. But sometimes it just works better to just break the rule. So this may
Oh,
be
no, that's fine. That's a good reason. I would leave it then.
Oh, I like this because it's
Okay.
not just a generic river. It's this river right here.
okay.
Makes it more personal.
No, I like it.
Any weak words, or is Madeline would say nickel
I
word?
like alabaster arms, the alliteration and the vision, the picture. Ooh, that's great.
Yeah, I didn't see anything weak about any of it.
Well, thank you.
Stiff with cold.
Too cliche.
I'm not sure.
Actually, I like the use of cold there. I think it's fine.
It says exactly what she intended.
Yeah, I like that.
Forward.
Any other thoughts on that one?
I do like the music, especially like quickens when this river cracks.
I do too.
Okay.
It's even got the right number of syllables.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, shall we go on to the next one? Any last thoughts?
Please.
Okay, Spellbound, and I'm not sure about the title of this one, so keep that in mind if you would. And this one, I'm not sure it packs enough punch. So if you could spot a line that needs some work, that would be helpful. Spellbound, rain bound by winter, sleeps in arms of evergreens. When silence wanders through these crystal corridors, she wears her water diamonds.
I really like the imagery.
I might suggest where instead of when, where silence wanders.
Good thought. Okay.
Otherwise, it's very visual.
How does silence wander?
Very careful.
It doesn't. That's what's so neat about it.
Actually, what put this in mind was when I'm wandering through a really particularly quiet stretch of woods near the house and imagining that I'm being pulled in to the wood on the pathway through the silence.
I can remember trying to wander through the woods back in West Virginia. And generally, unless I had someplace to go, I was just wandering. I would, every time I was there, I would really wish that I could be about 6 inches above the ground and not make a sound.
Oh,
Because every time you move,
make noise.
You make a
and
sound.
you make something, make something.
And when you hike through the woods, when there's snow on the ground, it's really tricky.
Yeah, that's true.
I did that when I was much younger.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was a few days younger myself.
But I like this. I can see it.
Okay.
Who is she?
The silence. I made her feminine.
That wasn't clear to me.
So I might need to.
Actually, I was envisioning the evergreens wearing the water diamonds caught in the. So it doesn't matter. It's whatever the reader, however the reader interprets it. And that's the way I saw it. I saw the diamonds on the evergreen needles.
I think the imagery could be more exact.
Okay.
I wouldn't get rid of any of it. I just, the images, it's not as strong as the first one yet.
Got some vague places. Okay.
Like water diamonds. Is it water diamonds? Yeah, it would be. But what's the crystal?
That's the sparkle on the evergreens
Okay.
when you're walking through a path. Okay. The word order might fix some of these.
Well, the first two lines are terrific.
Mhm.
Then it's like, to me, the rest is fine, but I can understand how the imagery is not clear.
Mhm, mhm.
But because I can live and see this, it doesn't bother me as much, but I understand
Mhm.
what they're saying.
Yeah.
Well, as I tell my students, I'm going to throw out suggestions and ideas, and it doesn't mean any of them are good. The purpose is to try to just help you push,
Right.
and you
Thank you.
decide whether it's useful to you or not.
Mhm.
To me, Sleeps in Arms of Evergreens is right on the edge of precious.
Yeah. I was afraid of that.
Of what, on the art, on what? On,
A little too,
Get it? Dancing on that line.
are you saying like a little too cliche?
little too cute, a
Okay.
little too sweet.
Actually, I like it, but I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because normally,
Maybe rests on tips of evergreens or
I mean, I'm not an expert in Beth Spraggins, but the stuff that I've read or heard, you normally have a strength to the language
Mm-hmm.
that um, isn't quite here yet.
Okay.
It's what a friend of mine in Michigan would say, 80% of the way there.
Well, that's why I brought it, because especially when you suggested that we ask for feedback.
One of my favorites from Pat is when he says, "That's 99% there."
or 99.9.
Not there yet, but
replace
almost.
one word and you got it. Yeah. Okay.
I like to be pushed.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, Steve, Orland?
Well, I like what Steve wrote there.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay.
That to me is a wandering silence. When you take your bubble of mystique and contemplation with you as you wander through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wandering silence was my suggested third line, trying to get something that has the same number of syllables,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure it's the right line. But
This is a 5-7-5 pattern, right?
Correct. 57577.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a haiku plus two more.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a Tonka.
Yep. This is a Tonka.
Tonka, okay.
Yeah. The top 3 lines are a haiku.
We should maybe consider doing a Tonka sequence the way they did in Japan, where
Isn't that how the haiku started?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I can't remember the rules that you have to continue the next Tonka, but
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what you're supposed to take
I
from.
have that written down in the other room on my shelf, but I'm not gonna go get it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. It's a collaborative.
Actually, ever since I learned that story about how the Japanese did that, I've always wanted to do that. I have a friend across the street who is Japanese American, and she writes haiku in Japanese.
Hmm.
In fact, I think here's
Welcome, Stan.
you can see this. Here's what she did.
Thank you.
I don't think you've been with us before, have you?
No, I haven't.
Are you out somewhere west?
Yes, I teach at Bridgewater.
Okay.
Oh. Hi, Stan. Long
Hi,
time
Madeline.
no see.
Yeah, Madeline is the face I know, I guess, in this group.
Well, Jim hasn't been joining us. He doesn't do Zoom, but maybe he will.
Yeah, I saw Jim's name on the list, and
Oh, is that why?
yeah, so Madeline and Jim I've met.
Well, good to meet you virtually.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah. I'm Steve. Welcome aboard.
Hi,
How
Steve.
are things at Bridgewater?
Oh, I don't know that there's any place that's resembling normal anymore.
Right.
Now, because I'm using my free account, not my college account, we will get stopped at 40 minutes. So if we want to go past, I think I can wait a few minutes and start it back up again.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So let me know, because right now we're at, I don't know, something like 10 minutes
26.
away.
Oh, really? We've been on that long already?
Time flies when you're having great poetry.
Who's next?
What
I
we're
just
doing,
want to say I was on the all poetry site and someone was employing something they called a haiku chain, where you'd have a haiku with a certain theme, and then it would be followed by another and another and another. It was like 5 in a row, kind of along the same theme, and you'd go from one to the next. And I thought it was a good idea.
I really think we ought to try that sometime.
It was interesting to read, and of course you could do it with Tonka.
Mhm.
We could do that through email.
Yeah.
right? Well, let me make a note of that. And I don't know, Beth, you're maybe our Tonka expert, so maybe you could start it.
Well, I'll be glad to if you tell me when, and I'll do something.
Yesterday would be just.
You might want to preface that with the rules,
Yeah, right.
just to remind us.
Yeah, and I mean, you can make up your own rules, but if you want to go with, what the traditional Japanese, I can't remember those anymore. So
Yeah. There are lots and lots of rules you don't want to get bogged down in when you're doing it.
Well, and then they break them.
Yeah.
So you pick the starting poem and the rules you want us to follow, and
Okay.
if somebody doesn't like it, they can either ignore it or not participate.
Okay.
I mean, what the heck?
We might create a masterpiece.
We
Yeah.
might.
Well, it's one of the things that's often missing in poetry is the social art of it.
Mhm.
Basically, we read aloud in a group or we read it silently in a book. This is a way of it being more interactive. So, anybody else got a seasonal change poem they'd like to share, either for workshop or just to share?
Oh, I have a wintry kind of poem,
Winter's the season.
but it just happens to be winter because it's an offbeat theme of the Himalayas, where I'm in search of the Yeti. All right. Well, I do about 60% rhyming poetry and trying to keep it alive. This is called Footprints on the Roof of the World.
Ooh.
Tall in the airy heights and peaks and mountain vista stuff, I search in quest of Yeti between summit and deep chasm bluff. From roaring chute of river's rush while surmounting Tibet's plateau, above both tree and living line, my Himalayan trek must go. I seek the elusive footprint, document rumor of this or that, poke around for scraps of skin or fur, or rare, mythic, frozen scat. I look with keenest sympathy for what all high country folk believe. This proofless, local beast of lore is no mere legend to deceive. Supposed tracks in lofty snow, where the transiting specter strolls, imprint on imagination more mystery than old Sanskrit scrolls. The hardiest part thrive in green season, where the sinuous water flows. Perhaps Yeti inhabits some Shangri-La in a coulee which no one knows. So down and up and in between, I seek the buggers out. massive furry ghosts of human kin, or inexplicable ape holdout. At night I view a shock of stars beyond flaps of warm refuge tent, and I listen most intently for any echo of Yeti lament. Frostbitten and frozen danger, thin air, avalanche, and all are worth mortal ecstasy to purely once hear that abominable, chilling call.
You know, one of my favorite movies is Lost Horizon, the original.
Great movie.
Yeah, not
1936.
the remake, but the original.
Yeah. A terrific movie. Sam Jaffe.
That describes it somewhat.
So it's just a playful little tromp in the Himalayas. Nothing complex. Okay. Anyone else?
I'd need to see it or hear it again.
Can you
By the
paste
way,
it
I
in the
do
chat?
have it set so you can share your screen if you have it in Word or whatever.
Yeah, I do. I just don't know how to do any of that. That part.
Don't we have to put it up before we join Zoom in order to share it?
No,
Oh,
you can start a program in the middle and hit the share screen and choose which of the items running you want.
Okay, Steve, so open up your documents and find it and share it.
well, I've got it up.
Down at the bottom center should be share screen.
See the green button?
You might have to mouse over the bottom of your computer screen.
Let's see.
Right on.
Web layout, outline draft.
Are you looking at the Zoom screen?
No. Oh, share screen.
See the chat button? It's to the right of the chat button.
Yeah, it says share screen.
Click on that.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
One participant says it's working. Why is it not working? Okay, let me try again. Try now.
Okay.
There you go.
Yay! There it is.
Yay! Perfect.
You're now a Zoom expert.
Yep.
And if we get blown out, I will restart it
Okay.
because we're down to 5 minutes or so.
Okay, that's
We
good.
can see it. That's great, Steve. I love the title.
I do too.
I learned something new.
The only reason I knew is I had to do a program and I did a PowerPoint. That's why I knew.
Hmm.
I really like the alliteration in that line from Roaring Shoot of Rivers Rush.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
But is there a river in the Himalayas?
Oh, yeah. At least 3 major rivers start there for the Brahmaputra, the Mekong.
Yeah, but they're not at the roof of the world, right?
They all start in the Himalayas.
Frozen scat, really?
Accurate.
The Himalayas have the greatest drop in the world from height. Within 1/2 mile, you can drop 16,000 feet.
Oh my God.
Well, they got all that human scat up there.
Human kin.
There's definitely the voice of a character speaking here.
Mm-hmm.
What about changing the word mystery to mystic? That has a deeper meaning. More mystic than old Sanskrit scrolls. It's just a thought.
Hmm.
I like mystery myself.
Yeah, I had a lot of possibilities on that line. It actually started out Dead Sea Scrolls.
Uh,
I wonder if verse paragraph breaks would help. I'm thinking out loud. I like at night is a change of scene.
Mm.
Not sure that's a good suggestion, throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a long poem, sort of, so it's compared to a tanka, so it's lots of possibilities.
Yeah, I definitely like the voice of the character,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
the speaker.
If this were my poem, I would probably go back and see if there's anything in there that I really don't need. And I'm not saying there is, but that would be one of the things I would do.
Yeah.
But I like the voice also, and the vision and everything. It's beautiful.
So, folks, we're about to get knocked out. Do you want to restart?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
A couple more people to hit. Yeah.
Now, how do we go about doing this?
Do we
Okay,
need to
prayer
all
conference.
leave? Hit the leave button?
I'll just be preemptive and hit end
Oh,
and then restart.
And it'll be the same link.
Use the same link.
Okay, so we should try to get back on at 2:40. Something
That would
like,
be fine.
okay,
okay. I'm going to hit the leave button.
all right. It worked. This is great. A new trick. I had no idea you could do this. Wonderful.
I forgot to mention I might have to leave early. My son's coming over to do some things for me, like bring in the trash can and stuff that I can't do. So if I leave, don't be offended.
I hope we're energizing you a bit.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I don't need. I'm not allowed caffeine or anything.
Oh, wow.
It makes it beat faster.
Yeah. Well, don't let them burn the nerves of your heart.
Well, I still have a place where, because it's like a sunburn when they do that shock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it leaves a mark.
Uh,
And I was thinking it's probably a whole lot easier to shock a man's heart than it is a woman's.
Kill me.
I'll let you visualize that.
Ouch.
Okay, were we done, Steve?
Yes, oh yeah.
Somebody else want to share a seasonal poem?
Anything else?
I didn't bring anything.
Well, I've got one that is in second or third draft, but not yet done.
That's the kind we like to see.
Not sure about the title. It's tentative, seasons. A grammar diverged in these woods, and I chose the deciduous way, the other evergreen. Deciding winter, I followed my own footsteps, left in a future snowfall. Bare and stark against a slate heaven, I bow on green, my bare brown limbs low into white snow. Next summer,
Oh.
compost these words. Obviously, apologies to Frost and,
Yeah.
and also Emily Dickinson. More for the style. than-
Well, you know what? I've read a lot of your stuff, and this is very different from anything I've seen you write.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first reaction.
I'm a chameleon. The book Finite to Fail has a lot of poems like this.
I can't remember which one I have.
What color is it?
I don't know. Are you kidding? I have so many of your all's books stacked in there.
It's a trick question.
Okay, so any suggestions, questions, feedback will be appreciated.
That third stanza really intrigues me.
I think the third stanza is done.
Yeah.
I'm going to show my stupidity. Is this like a metaphor between nature and language?
Yeah,
Okay.
and life.
In life. The last stanza.
Yeah, I love the last stanza too.
Yeah. That sounds like something I would write. Next summer, I'm going to be compost.
Well, what I learned from Dickinson is the use of unusual breaks. She often threw M dashes in weird places. And here I don't really use that. In that book I mentioned, I do a lot of those. Here I use the line breaks to try and give some ambiguity. Are the words compost? Are you supposed to compost these words?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I compost?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it becoming compost?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it's dying and
So I like language to kind of blow up a little bit.
It's
so on the
stuck.
one hand, you can see it as the woods and the trees in the woods surviving the seasons and some of them dying and becoming compost. Then the other part is the whole language
Mm-hmm.
imagery. It's like looking at a painting from two different directions and seeing two different pictures.
I like that ambiguity.
Mhm.
And I like the break in the second stanza in Evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the title. It seems more like a label than something that
Exactly.
really directs me.
Yeah. I need a better title.
Given the way that the third stanza seems to be central in both the physicality of the poem as well as the concepts, I'm wondering if you could come up with a title that ties more closely to that stanza.
My own footsteps.
Compost wandering.
Wow,
Righty.
that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, I don't think I would put compost in the title just because you want it to have its impact there at the end.
Yeah, punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, compost in the title would mean I probably have given up on it.
Yeah.
Deciding winter is an
Yeah,
interesting
that's what
phrase.
I was going to say, deciding winter, because that leaves it up in the air.
Yeah, I normally don't like to just quote a line. That's just sort of personal preference. Sometimes I like titles that are snarkily just obverse to everything else in the poem. But I don't think that would work in this one.
No, tree frog on a branch is not going to work.
Put something about footsteps, which would lead you to both the literal and the actual. In other words, there's two kinds of footsteps that you're taking through this. Something about footsteps, maybe.
Or Robert Frost and Emily Dickinson meet at the solstice.
And
I love it.
I gotta tell you, I grew up with Emily. I love Emily Dickinson.
all right, well, I will try to come up with some kind of title that matters somehow. Thank you.
That's really a unique poem. I like it.
I really enjoyed that.
I do too.
Thank you.
Mm.
So, Orlando Angle. I don't know who Orlando Angle is.
Yes, it hit his button.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Or
You look like
Stan,
you-
either of you just want to share any other poem whatsoever that you happen to be working on right now, regardless of the season or not.
I didn't prepare anything.
Actually, I'm working on 2 short stories and editing my novel one more time. So the poetry's kind of been.
No, I just saw the invitation. I said, well, let's go check it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Hope to
thanks,
come back.
Madeline.
Well, until we can Zoom back face to face, this is the way we're going to do it. It's every third Saturday. The membership in your area has not been real active. We were not able to recruit a VP, so I'm serving both regions for now. That is fine for me at this point. When I have to start traveling to Winchester and Harrisonburg from Locust Grove and then up to, I don't know, Stafford or whatever, it's going to, I did that when I was college president, but I'm not interested.
When you were younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I would like to do is to find ways to engage people out there. One of our critical needs is more members, especially more diverse members and especially younger members. So I'd like to sponsor some events out that way when we get back face to face, partnership with the university or maybe with Shenandoah. I don't know if there's anybody there that the university up there, or coffee houses if there's any left after COVID, whatever to try to if there's already poetry slams going on, maybe show up and proselytize. We do normally hold an event in April and an event in October. They have been at Germanna Fredericksburg, but if we're going to include the other district, we might put one of them over on the west side, one of them in the east side. So if there's ideas, Stan, that you have for how we can, as we move to events and activities, what would work, what might be good, where we could join with something already, ideas for members out that way, or through your college. Email them to me.
Yeah.
These meetings, what we decided to do is we would do one that's sharing workshop, which is this one. We'd have a business meeting from time to time. And then we'd also have a workshop meeting where somebody, either a member or someone we bring in, can lead us in honing our work in some aspect or another.
Sounds good.
So the contest is over. Beth, here, have you been judging already?
I have submitted my responses.
Okay.
Man, I did the younger one. Since I entered the adult contest, I wasn't. It wasn't appropriate to be a judge for any of the adult categories. But what those kids can do with language, wow! I'm just. They're a lot more innovative and creative than I was at that age. That's for sure.
Well, you look at Amanda Gorman,
Yeah.
she's definitely an exemplar of the poetry as performance art,
Right.
which is a whole different, though related aesthetic.
Mhm.
I write for the ear as well as the eye, but
Mhm.
I've been trying to learn more from hip hop and from performance poetry. I'm too old and too white to do that, but I can certainly learn from it. Um, I had a student last year who was quite good at it. Young African American man, if you remember him.
Yeah, I remember him. He was, yeah,
Obviously,
really good too.
not yet to Amanda's level, but for basically a beginning writer, quite good and got better during the class.
We had several in Riverside that a few years ago during one of our poetry things did some performance poetry.
Mm.
And actually, Michelle did. Mickey, she's done some.
So anyway, that's a quick summary of things going on. Um, no word yet on May. The state festival tentatively is going to be done face to face, but I'm not optimistic yet that that's going to happen. Um, Anybody got their shots?
I got one.
Good. Congrats.
I was pleased that I'm not in the tiers that are being vaccinated now, but the new state site, unlike the previous hodgepodge things, does let you register even if your tier is not up yet, which is encouraging. So I'm on the list theoretically.
Well, I'm old enough to be in Tier 1B. Um,
Oh, I am too.
so,
In fact, I was upset that I didn't make the first tier because the first tier did not include baby boomers. It cut off right before.
well, you
But
might
I'm
have been,
probably not
you
gonna
might have
get
been able to get in because of your heart.
Well, I'm going to get my heart fixed before I worry about a vaccine.
Do whatever your doctor tells you to do.
Hey,
Okay, well,
can I jump in?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. The last time we met, there was a young black lady that had a poem, recited a poem about poetry. Okay. And I don't remember her name. I don't remember the stuff in the poem, but it impressed me and I wrote a poem about it.
Oh.
Oh,
Could I read that to you?
sure.
Okay. I entitled this thing Soliloquy. I witnessed a detailed soliloquy extolling the essence of poetry, not just the brackets of rhythm and rhyme, but probing the soul and freeing the mind. The passionate soul that was bared here today seeks only the peace that brightens the way, the rough made smooth, the heel brought low, the exquisite beauty of a new rainbow, the full-throated passion that permeates life, and the wisp of the spirit when danger is rife. There are no limits when the poet sits round as she gathers a phrase and writes it all down. For the craft that she rides is freedom indeed. What more, she does ask, could she ever need? There you go.
Cool.
All right.
I don't think I posted the last recording on, but I'll compile this one and that one and put them up there and send a link out.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I would love to hear her again because I'm doing all this just from memory, and I would love to hear that poem that she wrote, or that she wrote and read again. I would really like that.
Thank you.
So thank you all for letting me chatter.
I didn't notice chattering. Okay, any questions, concerns before we log off?
when did you want to start the haiku chain? I'm wondering when I need to get that to you.
42.5 minutes from now.
Might miss that deadline.
You pick the theme and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, in the rules.
And the rules.
And it's the one time you have to reply all.
Yeah, I need the rules, definitely.
Well, the trick is you send it to one person.
Oh, okay.
And then that person adds on and they send it to the next person, but copy the first person.
Okay,
That
so
way
I'm
you
gonna-
both,
I got it.
or you don't copy the first person but it goes back to them eventually and they can continue the chain. But
Well,
Beth will tell us exactly how to do that.
Okay. And
You have the power.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So this will be fun.
all right. Well, it probably won't happen today, but look for it within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Take your time.
All right.
I gave you an artificial, meaningless deadline.
Which I will choose to ignore.
I can't wait to do this. I think this is going to be fun. Remember the old gossip game we did with the kids? You'd whisper something in the ear and it'd go all the way down.
You know, Beth, thinking what you might do is reply all
Mm-hmm.
to the invitation
Uh-huh.
with the rules,
Uh-huh.
and say you can expect to receive one of these poems, and if you choose not to participate, just reply no thanks or whatever, and we'll go on to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to get everybody involved in this, but
Mhm.
obviously it's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then your second email would be to you pick one person to send it to. Maybe that's the way.
Yeah. Because we don't
We
want to
need-
get hung up, and I don't want to badger people who have other commitments and just really
Right.
are stressed. We don't want this to create stress for anybody.
Right. But we need to know who to send it on to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might send it back to a person that was like two
There we
people
go.
before.
Well, maybe
Well-
what to do is have people opt in, contact me if you want to do it, and then I could set up a list.
Okay.
Would
Okay.
that work, you think?
But you're also going to have your name on your contribution, and then the next person will put
Oh,
name on, so we'll know who the
Okay.
sequence belongs to.
I'm going to leave you guys now. I'll look for
Okay.
the email. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care of
Bye, Madeline.
yourself.
So how do we know who's doing what? I don't have a list of anybody's names or emails.
Well, the invitation that David sent has in the to line
Okay.
has the names of all of us that are on the PSV mailing list for the report.
Or if you like, I could send you the roster.
No, that'll work. The email, I think I've got the email.
Beth, let me know if you need the roster or if you can create it yourself.
Okay.
You can put that right in the instructions, and when you reply to everybody, they can say, I'm interested, and then you can delete whoever's not.
Right.
Now, I'm giving you orders here. Feel free to tell me to go to hell.
I'm happy to opt in.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'll be in too, see if I can figure out what to do.
All right. We'll work on that part.
Appreciate it.
We all have permission to write really sucky tonkas, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, this is
I
not
don't
an
even know.
artistic endeavor. This is for fun.
I don't even know what a Tonka is. I thought it was a toy.
Yeah, it is.
It's a truck, yeah.
A haiku with extra coup.
Yeah.
Haiku with a couplet.
Yep. Well, I'll just spell it out. And as David said, this is for fun. So if you feel like breaking the rules, that's okay. And I'm going to go with really minimal rules because, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, people have written volumes of rules just for the fun of writing rules.
I
You
agree.
just don't want to. It ruins the fun of it if you get too hung up on it. If you take it to the really nuanced level, you can start to go with the rules, but one of the things I like to do is break them. Some of them get in my way.
You got to know what they are and be able to do them before you
Yep.
break them.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Stay
David.
safe.
Thank you. Good to meet you all.
Thank you, Dan. Please come back.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.